Hi guys, welcome back to the Mighty Blues. It is the instant match reaction. Fulham 0, Everton 0 this evening at Craven Cottage. A second goalless draw on the spin in the Premier League for Sean Dyche's Everton. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how that game ended goalless, if I'm being perfectly honest. It was two sides, both of whom created a plethora of opportunities, lots of space created by both teams. I thought Everton were the better team in the first half, creating space, creating opportunities, and then I thought in the second half Fulham put their foot on the gas a little bit, but ultimately both sides hugely lacking any real quality right when it was needed. Everton missing a number of opportunities. The two from Beto at the end there are absolutely horrific. Certainly the header, I can sort of semi-forgive the goal mouth sort of, goal mouth clash, because there was a number of bodies in the way and those can go anywhere on any given day. But the header it's got to be a goal. It's just not good enough. It's just simply not good enough. We missed other big chances in the game. Danjuma missed one early on that he should be doing so much better with. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has hit the bar. We've had one off the bar and then handballed blatantly on the line and a penalty had been not given. Yeah, we definitely had opportunities to score goals today, and again, I think the lack of confidence in the squad and I think the lack of momentum in the squad was very clearly on show there. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't one-sided. Fulham had a number of opportunities as well. Their centre-forward, who they brought on at half-time for Jimenez, has had a massive header, free header in the box. I'm not quite sure how he's been allowed to have a free header in the box from 6 yards out, but nevertheless he has. He's hit it straight at Jordan Pickford, and I'm sure Fulham fans will be sitting there today absolutely furious at that as well. So definitely opportunities for both sides to win the game, and ultimately the lack of quality from both sides ended up showing. Again, if you'd have asked me before the game, would you take a goalless draw? Would you take a point tonight? I probably would have said yeah, given how poor I thought we were against Luton on Saturday and given how stretched the squad is. Obviously, the team was hugely different today than what it has been at any point this season. Dwight McNeil playing in there in the centre of midfield in the absence of Amadou Onana, who was picked up an injury, or is it an injury has resurfaced, one that he was already struggling with. Obviously, we had Ben Godfrey in there for the first time in a while. I thought Ben did really well. He's done himself a favour tonight, Ben. Whether he ends up being at the football club come Thursday evening or not, ultimately that performance today has either given Sean Dyche a good solid look at him and made Sean Dyche think, you know what, no, I'm going to keep a hold of him because he's got something to offer, or it's maybe added a little bit of money onto his price tag. He's made a clearance or a block which saved Willian being one-on-one with Jordan Pickford 6 yards out and almost certainly putting the ball in the back of the net. And Ben Godfrey's come across and made an excellent block, and if it wasn't for that, as I said, it would have been a goal. So it was a brilliant bit of defending there, and I actually thought he had a decent game. Ben, I thought he played really well, and yeah, generally I thought we were better. Obviously the shape was different, the formation was different, the system was different, and in that you will get teething problems and you will get players who, at times are maybe dragged out of position a little bit and therefore leave space in behind, and I thought that was the case today. I think both teams left an immense amount of space in behind, and both sides were defensively not brilliant today in terms of allowing the opposition to create chances. Obviously, when it got to actually having to defend the chance, I thought we were relatively solid. I thought we were relatively compact. I thought Tarkowski was solid again. I thought Branthwaite was solid again. As I said, I thought Ben Godfrey done his job, again. But generally, in the midfield and in those open areas, there was far too much space being left. And that may be because it's a new system. That may be because we've got teething problems. You've got McNeil playing central midfield, for example. But yeah, I definitely felt we were a little bit exposed at times today. But do you know what? So were Fulham. And on another given day, whilst we may sit here and say a point is probably a fair result given both teams had opportunities, I can't help but feel incredibly frustrated again with that, because the reality of the situation is Everton need to start winning games of football, and it's all well and good going away from home and putting in a solid performance and coming away with a point, and I'm not by any sense of the imagination fuming with a point. Obviously I'm relatively satisfied, but if this had been last season, for example, we'd have gone away to Fulham, we'd have picked up a point, and everybody would have said, you know what, that's not a bad result. That go on, turn up at Goodison next week and win your home game. But we know this season Everton's home form has been nothing short of absolutely abhorrent, and our away form is what has actually been carrying us through the difficult moments, and we've been able to go away from home, be very resilient, set up, in a way that the players know what they're doing and the manager knows what he's doing, and go and get results. And that today felt like another opportunity to go and do that. And what it means is, in order for this to be seen as a decent point or a decent result, we have to start winning games of football at home, because it's not a decent result if our home form continues to be as bad as what it has been. It's only a decent result if we pick it up at home and start to go and get some points on the board and some wins on the board. Otherwise, and at this current moment, until we do that, this feels like a little bit of a missed opportunity for me. And yes, I know it could have gone either way. And again, I'm not saying that I'm not sitting here absolutely furious at it, but it does feel like a little bit of a missed opportunity for me today. And that Beto chance right at the depth. I know, they had a plethora of opportunities at the bar. We had a plethora of opportunities at the bar. But Beto was 6 yards, if that, 3-4 yards out from goal. Completely free header with seconds to go in the game. And he's put it over the bar. And I know it's come at him quickly. And I know he's only got a split second to make his decision. But you've got to be putting those in the back of the net. You just have to be putting them in the back of the net. It's simple. And, that goal mouth scramble right at the end really, really done my head in. It really, really done my head in, because, Everton have had everything go against them this season. And I don't care if you think I'm moaning. I don't care if you think I'm whining. I don't care if you think, oh, woe is me again, this, that, and the other. I honestly don't care. The reality of the situation is Everton have had pretty much everything go against us this season. Refereeing decisions. We've been on the wrong side of a corrupt organisation who are trying to make a point, and in doing so have punished us for something that we should never have been punished in the way we were punished for. And injuries and various other things that have gone on over the last 12 months or so. Obviously, all of the stuff with the board, change of ownership. And sometimes you just sit there, don't you, and think, I wonder when we will get a slice of luck. I wonder when we will score a goal where we sit back and we go, do you know what, we were a little bit fortunate there. Or I wonder when we'll get a decision where you look at retrospectively and think, do you know what, we might not have got that on another day, but we've got it, thankfully. It just doesn't seem like we've got any luck whatsoever, does it? It doesn't seem like anything ever falls for us. Luton are in the 5th round of the FA Cup because they beat Everton at Goodison Park on Saturday, and we all sat down after the game and we all spoke about how terrible of a result and terrible of a performance it was. They won the game in that exact same situation and circumstance. A goal mouth scrap right at the end. They managed to get a touch on it, it goes in. We have a goal mouth scrap right at the end to win a game, and it's kept out. Just after, seconds after, we've missed a big, big opportunity to score. And I'm not just blaming Beto, by the way, because Danjuma missed a couple of big opportunities today. Jack Harrison missed a couple of chances I think he should have done better with. Dom's missed a couple of opportunities. But, ultimately, when you're fighting relegation, which we are, I think Luton have just beat Brighton 4-0. Which is a huge result for them and a disastrous result for us. But when we're in the position that we're in and have been in for the last couple of seasons, it's imperative that you don't leave games like this thinking, we should have really won that. And I know Fulham had chances, and I'm not saying we absolutely bladdered Fulham and we were the much better team. Fulham fans are probably sitting there now saying the same thing. We should have come away with 3 points there. But the reality of the situation is with seconds to go, Everton have missed what I can only describe as an absolute disastrous opportunity. I'd have to see it again. I know it comes at him quick, but from first glance, he's got to put it in the back of the net. Beto, he's simply got to put it in the back of the net. We've also, once again, been on the wrong side of another disgraceful refereeing decision, and it's getting to the point where I used to start these instant match reactions by screaming and shouting and, discussing those refereing decisions. I remember sitting in this exact same position a couple of weeks ago when Everton drew with Crystal Palace in the FA Cup third round at Selhurst Park, and we'd had the Dominic Calvert-Lewin red card go against us, and I remember sitting in this exact position absolutely fuming, sweating, screaming, shouting, etc, etc. Fast forward only a couple of weeks, we've had another absolutely shocking decision go against us. I don't care what anybody says. It's a penalty all day long. All day long. The ball bounces off the bar. Anthony Robinson's arm is out here. His arms are out here like that. It knocks his arm, and then obviously it's cleared off of the line. Now, that ball is bouncing around the line before it makes contact with Anthony Robinson's arm. If it doesn't hit Anthony Robinson's arm, it either goes in or it comes back out for an Everton player to run in on. It does hit Anthony Robinson's arm, and it hits it clearly because it changes the direction of the ball. VAR at half-time were asked to clarify why it wasn't given as a penalty. Now, when I tell you this, I don't want it. By the way, if you're thinking a comment and saying it's not corrupt, stop moaning, stop. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, because you're just making yourself look like an idiot, a real big idiot. VAR at half-time said his arms were by his sides. Go and look at the clip again. Go and watch the clip again. Go and look at the pictures. Go and look at the frames. Go and look at the video again. Anthony Robinson's arms are out here. They're out here. I mean, were VAR watching on a fat screen or something? Did they buy a fat screen telly instead of a flat screen telly, and all of a sudden all the players are 20 stone heavier? Because that isn't by your sides. That is out and in an unnatural position and changes the path of the ball, which ultimately means it's a penalty. Did he mean it? No. But did Amadou Onana mean it when it was blasted at him from 2 yards away against Manchester City? No, but they were quick to give that penalty and defend it, weren't they? It's nonsense. We know it's corrupt. There's no point in me sitting here and screaming and shouting and swearing and having a go. We know it's corrupt. We absolutely know. And as I said, if you don't think it is, you need to go down to Specsavers, because you're blind to it and you're being an idiot. You're being a real idiot, because it's so clearly on show. It's so obviously on show. That is a penalty all day long, and it's given to certainly 6 other teams in this league, if not more. It's given the other end of the pitch. I'd put my house on it. I'd put everything I own, from the clothes on my back, on that's given at the other end of the pitch. 100%. What a nonsense excuse. If you're going to excuse it, then make something up that is believable. Don't make a lie up that we can all go back and prove is wrong. His arms are by his sides. Well, hang on, mate. Here's the still image of his arm. Clearly not by his side. It's another disgusting decision, and as I said, it's getting to the point now where these are that frequent and they're that often that it's not surprising, and therefore it doesn't spark as much of an emotional reaction, because I sort of have accepted that the league is against us, that the referees are against us, that there's a clear agenda to get Everton out of the Premier League and to push Everton to the side. I've accepted it. So when I see things like this, they don't surprise me. They don't surprise me. I'm probably more wound up about Beto's miss, because we can console that. We can't console the fact that the referees, once again, Everton, the only team, by the way, to have not received the penalty in the Premier League this season. I think I read a stat the other day that Brighton have had eight penalties or something this season. Everton have not had a single one. Oh, but you must not have had a penalty. You must not have had any chances where you could have got a penalty. Yeah. I don't know. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. But yeah, I thought a draw was probably an even result, at the end of it. Could we have got more from it? Yes, and I'm disappointed that we didn't get more from it. But a point away from home, you take it and you move on. But it does give added pressure to that game against Spurs on Saturday. For me, Everton have got to go out and have got to get a win. We haven't won a game of football in the Premier League since mid-December, so it's really, really important we start picking up some points, and that was an opportunity missed today. Even though it was a tight game and it could have gone either way, with that chance at the end, that's a huge opportunity missed, and we can't afford to miss many more of them. We can't. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to leave it there. If you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button. It does only take a second if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back with the play ratings very shortly, so look out for those. Big thank you all for watching, and we'll see you after.